morning.
Nice.
Fresh in from Midland, Michigan.
Yes.
The wild man, Roy Kranz. Straight. You literally pulled in, took a leak on the mic.
Yes. You are correct.
Are you good? Do you need a minute?
No, I'm good. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. It's great to have you here.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Yeah, it was great. Are we going to call your wife? What is she up to?
I don't know.
Well, we can wait on that.
Okay.
We might call his wife just to check in.
She was like 50-50 on whether or not she'd answer. But
Let her know that Roy's okay. Let's do an introduction, Roy. Why don't you, because I know a lot of people who watch the podcast probably know who you are, but there's probably a lot of people that don't too. Talk a little bit about, well, how did you get caught up in these stupid events?
That's a good question. I rode my bike a lot as a kid, but I blame my dad for sure. He said, "Hey, we've got this thing we can raise money for the American Cancer Society. They have a 15-mile loop, and you could probably do one loop and go around the neighborhood, get pledges." So I did, and everybody, "How far are you going to go?" "Well, I'm hoping to do one loop." And we did like 3 or 4 loops, and the people weren't real happy when I came to collect because they owed more than they thought they were going to because it was per mile.
Right.
And then he's like, "Well, if you can do that, we can ride to your grandparents' house, and it's 250 miles." So we did that. First time I did it on a BMX bike with a hard seat. My ass hurt so bad.
250 miles?
In 4 days.
Okay. But still, on a BMX?
Yeah.
Kiko he'd be into this right now. We're going to have to tag him in this.
Nice.
So your dad rode?
Yeah, we both did. Yeah.
Okay.
He had a $85, 3-speed bike. And
Sure.
at some point, the saddlebags weighed down the back wheel and the spokes started breaking. And instead of fixing the wheel, he just bought another bike.
So this 4-day ride on a BMX,
Yeah.
are you hitting hotels? Are you camping? What are you doing?
Hotels.
And how old are you?
Probably 11.
That's the sickness set in early.
I bought
this explains a lot, actually.
I bought some Matchbox cars and played with them on the road when we'd stop. And we got there, and my grandma's like, "Where's the car? We rode our bike." She says, "Bullshit, where's the car?"
They didn't know you were coming?
Well, they knew we were coming. They just didn't know we were riding our bikes.
That's actually pretty smart. Never tell your grandparents that you're taking your 11-year-old son to ride 4 days to their house. That would be vetoed.
There was a Cujo-type dog that chased my dad, and he had his feet up by the top tube, and I was just laughing my ass off. Thankfully, it wasn't coming after me, but...
What was on the bikes? Packs? Gear?
Not much. He had the saddlebags. He had like a rack in the back, and so that whatever we could fit in the two...
What was on your bike? You?
Nothing, yeah. I mean, eventually there was a piece of padding that we taped over the hard seat, so it'd be less painful.
Oh, what a nice guy.
And then we moved up to 10. We did this like 4 years in a row. So after that, we made better bike choices.
So from there, you were just off and running?
Pretty much every vacation was, go to a place with hard hiking trails and hike them. And we went to British Columbia and walked into a camp store, and there was a tent there that was like a great deal because of the exchange rate. So I bought it with my own money and had that for years, passed it on to my son, but just kind of got into it from that. So.
Okay, so let's fast forward many, many, many years later. I think I met Rusty before I met you.
Yeah.
I became aware of you through Rusty, and that was because you two knuckleheads, I think, were coming up to do the Orta Shore.
Could be. Yeah, that's right, because we had a bet going.
Yes, there was some sort of competition, interfamily competition going on or something. And had you gotten away from cycling?
Yeah. I mean, when I went to law school, for sure, college, kind of got away from it. Raced BMX as a kid, was never very good.
Yeah.
And then bought a bike in college, but didn't ride it much, got away from it. And then once law school was either almost done or done, I bought a bike, and the guy's like, "You ever gonna race this bike?" And I go, "Yeah, I might do that," because I had done Iceman in 2002. It didn't go well, so I had like a 10-year hiatus from racing. But
When did you come back into it? Was it 2012, 2013?
yeah, something like that. I think 13 was the year that I trained myself with the Joe Friel book.
Yes.
And it went really well.
Yes. You lost a bunch of weight.
That too. I mean, the 210 is what I was at. And
Right.
I went down to the 170s.
Yep. I remember the pictures.
And so I did pretty well on that progression of following the training plan. So then I hired Brian Motter. For
That was in 14, 13?
15.
15.
Yeah. So then the sole focus was Iceman, which made the early season races kind of suck. Getting my ass kicked. Working hard, but still not peaking until November.
What was your time that year, Iceman?
I think it was 135 or something. It was
Good time.
65th overall.
That's fast.
But it was a lot of work.
Sure.
I went to the bike team training camp and I showed him Brian the agenda and I said, "Hey coach, check out the agenda. That looks fun. Are you going to do that or what I want you to do?" I guess I'm riding by myself down in Indiana.
What was the bike camp?
It was Brown County Revolution Racing. I mean, it was.
Oh, you guys had a annual bike camp.
Yeah.
Right. And it was, you guys there's a group of guys.
Right.
And he axed it. No more fun.
He said I could do it, but I was paying him, so I figured I better do what he said. But your buddies would say, "Hey, Todd, you want to go ride this weekend?" You look at your training schedule. Nope, can't do it. I'm like, this is going to be a 1-year project.
This part is probably making Mark very uncomfortable.
Yeah. So I did a winter race and won a gift card to Grand Rapids Bicycle Company. This was in 2015. And I knew I wanted something different. I didn't want to keep doing this interval shit. It's miserable. So I had 3 choices. I was in Grand Rapids for work, teaching a class, and I randomly picked one of the GR Bike Company places, went to it, met Tyler Kuning, and he was just waxing poetic about Marji Gesick and Dirty Kanza. And it just opened my eyes to those possibilities. And so I signed up for it. It was the first year ever they had a fat bike category at Dirty Kanza. And
so was that 16?
Yep.
That was your Marji buckle year.
It was.
On the bike.
It was. I came into that having no clue what I was getting into, and that probably helped.
That was your only Marji buckle on a bike.
It was. and
which we've talked many times about.
Oh, yeah. I was never close again. I wiped out. I lost my Garmin that year.
Yeah.
I ended up riding with Mark Kranz. I kept saying, "Hey, how far are we? What time is it?" And I said, "We're going to make it." He goes, "We'll see. I've thrown up 3 times already."
Kranz. Yeah, to be clear for everybody, that's not actually your son.
No. But it's fun to joke.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So you did Kanza that year.
Yes.
And won the fat bike?
Yes.
And then, well, let's play that out because we talked about this Friday night over dinner. So you held that title, fat bike champion, for how many years?
I don't know how many years in a row, but it was.
Come on, you do.
I don't.
That's bullshit.
I don't, because there was one year. Maybe it was after 6 years, I was going for number 7, and I got there. I felt great. It was like my.
Oh, is that when you were sick?
Yeah, I got sick.
Oh,
so
yeah, I remember that.
I got to the first checkpoint at mile 80, and I told my support guy, like, "I'm done." And he's like, "Yeah, right." And I'm like, "No, seriously, I was done like 30 miles ago, but I had to get here to quit." It was bad. So then I couldn't come to Marji camp the next weekend.
Right.
That was terrible. So it was 6 in a row, and then I got sick, DNF'd, came back, won it. Should have quit then. Went back this year, got my ass kicked.
Did you know that? How much did he beat you by?
It's like 35 minutes.
35 minutes.
Yep.
They were together, right? You guys like met at the start line or something?
So I met him at Packet Pickup.
Okay.
And he goes, "Hey, it's you. You've been my inspiration all year." And I said, "Oh, that's nice. Cool. Thanks." And he said, how do I find you at the start line? We can ride together. And I'm thinking, I'm dropping your ass right from the beginning. I'm never going to see you again.
That's what he said at dinner too.
And
It's so good.
So I did. I dropped him at the beginning, but then an hour in, he caught me and he was all excited. And I stuck with him for a while. But after, I don't know, an hour or two, we're averaging 21 miles an hour. And I'm like, I can't sustain this. And I'm hoping if I back off, he will too. He didn't.
Be honest. Was that annoying?
No, I mean, it was bound to happen.
It's just time, right?
I will say third place was 2 hours behind me, so I didn't have a terrible day, but
So it was close.
I mean, it was not as close as I would have liked.
And you're going to go back, right?
I don't know, probably.
Come on, you know you are.
love
You
that
have
race.
to. You're obligated.
I will say though that the racing thing is kind of wearing off. I mean, like I really like the build your own adventure kind of thing. We went to New Hampshire for 15 or 16 years in a row, climbed all the 4,000 footers in the winter.
Yep.
We kept going back and repeating, taking new people, taking my son and 3 of his friends.
Yep.
This year we're going to the Adirondacks, so we're mixing it up.
Good.
First time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now you're talking our language.
There you go.
The language of adventure.
Exactly.
Good.
I mean, we do a lot of these hikes that are week-long backpacking trips, but we do them in one shot without sleep, and that's the kind of stuff. Things that nobody's ever done. I got a couple things in the works right now. I'm planning. So.
Maybe a little step back from the racing then.
I mean, I'll still do some of it. It's fun. I love your events, obviously. I mean,
Yeah, you've been a regular, my friend.
yeah.
Poor bastard.
I like doing your videos, man. I'm really appreciate being able to do that. You don't even give me any parameters. You just let me run wild. Sometimes I rip your ass. Sometimes I call you a god. Who knows what it's...
Yeah, I don't know if people even know that, right? Because you've done videos for us for years.
Yeah.
So I don't know that they know that you've been doing that or that we've known it. But yeah, I mean, we love the way you put out your content. It's very engaging and interesting. It's not fucking boring like most people. So you can actually watch it.
Oh, I appreciate that.
You've done a good job of sharing the experiences that you've had. And, it's funny when you're not happy, you find a professional way to share that.
What I like is, you don't always recognize people when you're out riding because they have helmets,
Right.
they have sunglasses, but I'll be at a trail and I'll stop and talk to somebody and he'll say, I know that voice. I've seen you in the videos. And I think when I start doing the duathlon, which we haven't talked about yet, but that's my favorite Todd Poquette event.
Oh, we're going to be going there here
good.
shortly.
But what was I going to say about that? No, I don't know. We'll get back to that.
Lost your thought. We're only 20 minutes in and you're
I
already
know.
losing track of where we are, brother.
Dehydrated.
Do you need a pee?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Dehydrated.
Yes, yeah. No, I'm just checking. I'm checking all the boxes
Gotcha.
here. That's funny. Hey, could you pull up, since he brought it up, we might as well segue. Can you pull up the map? We had Christy McBride in here yesterday.
Oh, I know. I listened to it all the way up here.
Did you?
She's a beast.
Yeah, she is. We're trying to use the pod right now to do some introduction on Marji, since we're just a few weeks away.
Nice.
Let's blow that up if we can. So I actually want to. So full disclosure, this is not the 2025 GPX. This is 2024. Can you zoom into like that Harlow area or where? Yeah, right there. That's good. You got Forestville where we start. You go out in the ski trails. You go out around Harlow Lake, coming back through ski trails back to Forestville. Here's what I'd like you to do, Roy. We're going to go through this basically in 3 segments. We're going to start here in the start, Forestville back to Forestville. Then we're going to move and we'll focus on like north and south trails. And then we will talk about Ramba. Okay?
All right.
How I want to start is I want you to talk through how you have approached this. I'm going to have you do it for two different ways. Duathlon and bike. But we're going to start with duathlon since you brought it up. because you love the duathlon.
I love it.
See, I can tell. I see it in your eye. Love. Let's talk about it. You can take it away. Like, just talk about how, but I want to focus just on this first segment. I can't remember what it is, 23, 24 miles, something like that.
So, yeah, I mean, I'll give away all my secrets and then everyone will do what I do and it'll negate everyone else.
And they're going to be meeting you at pickup, excited,
right?
Inspired by you, and then drop you.
So I like to line up in the front because you get the fist bump from Matt Acker, which is always inspiring.
Yep.
But I think it's smart to go too fast at the beginning. So you run the loop and try and finish in the top 40 or so.
So you approach the Le Mans as, I'm going for it.
I mean, I'm not a fast runner, but I try and line up in the front and don't lose too many positions.
Got it.
I mean,
okay.
So, and then there's a tree I've always liked for leaning the bike against, so I know where it is every year.
Yep.
Last year I mixed it up. I put it somewhere else, but
for people watching it, this, we're going through, this is going to be the 100-mile route we're talking through with Roy. The Le Mans is about a half mile or so run. That's how the race starts. The 100-mile run and the duathlon are the only Marji events with a Le Mans. So if you're doing the 50, don't freak out. You're not going to have to run, half a mile in downtown Marquette. Okay, continue.
When you get on the bike, go harder than you should, which is pretty easy for most people because most people do that anyway.
Yeah.
But
true.
I try and do that. I figure getting behind people that are slower than you is bad, but letting people pass that are faster than you is okay.
Yeah.
And I don't mind moving over and letting people by.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can get out of the fray in the first hour or so, then you can settle down into your own pace, and you're not in the masses of people as long as you don't have a mechanical. So I usually rush to get to the top of the world, and then I carefully walk down it because I have no skills on the mountain bike. So there's no way I'm riding that thing.
A good qualifier here for everybody, if you haven't done the Marji, is that this whole first segment, the first 5 to 7 miles as you're going down the top of the world, it's very fast. It's very fast, and it's very easy for you to get thinking like, oh, this Marji Gesick, I got this in the bag.
Yeah, look at this average speed, baby.
I am on buckle pace.
I'm sure there's lots of people that think that.
Talk about, okay, so you're getting out through the run, out as far out in front as you can. You're kicking ass on the bike because the duathlon starts on the bike to get to leave Forestville. You get to the top of the world. Describe that.
Well, the first time I got there, I was with Tinker, so that was freaking sweet on my full suspension fat bike. So that was fun.
Did Tinker ride it?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm pretty.
Did you ride it?
No. I was told by you and I think Tyler Cuning, like, your day can be over there. You're not going to win it there, so you might as well just walk it.
That was good advice.
Yeah, it's very good advice. And so anyway, get down that, and it's really spread out at that point typically, and it's fairly relatively easy trails, so you just try not to wipe out.
When you get there, what position do you think you're in? How many people are there? Is there already a line of people walking
down the thing?
Top of the world?
Half and half at that point, so it's really tough for the riders because there are people walking. I mean, I would say any given year, like the first time I was obviously pretty high up, but then now it's maybe in the top 50 or 60.
Okay.
And then once you get down the backside of that, it usually is pretty thin with people. So you just ride that until you get back to Forestville. I mean, there's nothing real noteworthy. There is some technical stuff. That's where I wiped out that one year. I went back the next day and found my Garmin.
I remember that.
I thought like 600 people passed this thing and nobody picked it up because they were all focusing on their riding, and not on the ground. So.
Yeah, after top of the world, so there's not much that's technical. You go around Harlow Lake, you get over there where the trail goes along, County Road 550. There's a little bit of tech in there for a short distance. I think where people are going to be walking and stuff, but not terrible.
Right.
One of my favorite parts over there in Harlow is actually that railroad grade.
Oh, yeah, with those spikes sticking up.
The railroad ties sticking out. Yeah, people bitch about that every year. An important note on this. Have you ever had any issue? Because, you can see where the route goes down around the lake, comes back to itself, Beagle Club Road.
Right.
So you go down it. By the time the leaders get back, and this keeps getting a little bit tighter. Years ago, everybody would get down through Beagle Club Road into the rotation around Harlow Lake. And the leaders weren't there yet for a while. But they keep getting faster and faster. And it's getting closer to where it could end up being two-way traffic there for a bit. I mean, it's so spread out at that point with people in the back. There's not a lot of people, but that's definitely been changing. So you get back, you're heading back to Forestville, not much to speak of, right? What kind of pace you trying to hold at this point? You're past top of the world. How hard are you rolling?
I'm just looking at heart rate, just trying to keep it in zone 2.
No power?
I don't even have a power meter.
Okay, so just heart rate, zone 2.
Yep.
And just trying to keep it in that sweet spot.
Yep. Talk to people, you're trying to enjoy yourself a little bit. And
that's cute. All right. Do you have, that's the Harlow section. We're back to Forestville. Do you have a suggestion for anybody? Do you have any Roy Kranz hacks for that first section of the Marji?
Just the stuff I mentioned with the start. I mean, it's like important to not, I think if you care at all about not getting stuck behind people, then you should push faster than you think you should at the beginning. Of course, you're in like the heart rate zone you would be in for Iceman, so you need to put a cap on it. As soon as you're done with Top of the World, you need to pull back.
Yeah, rein it in. Okay, well, that's an important note.
Right.
Yeah, because I think too many people end up quitting because they keep their heart rate pinned past the point of no return, and then it's over. And then to keep in mind also, we're talking right now basically through Roy's doing the duathlon the last few years. Do you, at this point, when you leave the start, do you have a time in mind that you want to hit Jackson Park 1?
If I'm trying to buckle, then 8 hours.
8 hours?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good note.
I mean, I think if you're going to run, we haven't talked about this, but last year I didn't run any of it. I walked 100% of the run. Mm-hmm. If you're going to run some of that, you can be slower on the bike.
Okay. So if you're going to run it, if you're going to run Rambo for the duathlon.
I mean, you're not going to run all of it for sure.
Right. But how much would you factor in as a time difference?
The first year when I was getting chased all day by Christy, it was 1909 or something. I don't remember the exact, and then last year was more like 21:45.
Okay.
So that was, several hours almost difference by not running. But I ran a lot because she was close.
Yeah, she was pushing you.
Yeah, and when we went up and down Jasper Knob, she gave me a look like I'm kicking your ass at the end of this thing. So
that's probably what was in her head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you move the map and we'll kind of center north and south trails on there. So you get out of Forestville, you go through some North Trail stuff. Talk about Pine Knob.
The place you love to hate. I mean, it also, that could be another place that you push hard to get to.
Yes.
Just because it's much easier to deal with if there's not a ton of people in it.
Right.
But that's something you want to go out and practice for sure.
Yeah, if you can see it.
Yeah.
Go ride it. Yeah, it's loose. It's chunky. It's like the first sort of preview of what life's going to be like in Ramba.
You're happy you have a dropper in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you ride the majority of that? Do you walk some of it?
I mean, I try to ride as much as I can. Certainly there's some uphills that I would never even consider trying, but yeah. The downhills I try and ride. I mean, it's scary. Mm-hmm. Not that skilled, so.
Yeah. No, you've done all right. I mean, you've done it how many years?
Every year since 2016.
Yeah. So you've had 9 attempts. Well, 8 attempts. This will be your 9th because we lost one.
Yeah. Thanks for doubling up that other year.
That's
hopefully. hopefully next year.
For your 1,000-mile buckle.
That's the last buckle I'm ever getting.
You might 225 EX has still got one hanging out there for you.
Like I said, I've done that before. I know how miserable that is.
It is. Well, it's more miserable now, but we can talk about that later.
All right.
So, any special approach to North Trails? I mean, it's not super technical in there outside of Pine Knob.
Just have fun. I mean, if you have a support person that can meet you, I'm always really happy to share suggestions and my checkpoints and stuff with people that are doing this. But he usually meets me behind the health park right before you go through the tunnel.
Okay. So you're talking through the tunnel under the highway?
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's down a little bit. Slide that. So there by Highway 41.
Right before you cross under.
Yeah. So is that the first time you tend to schedule senior sport crew?
Nope. Forestville.
Okay. Back at the pole barn.
Yeah.
Good note. So 20-ish miles, say?
Sure.
Yeah. Your senior support there, and then you're seeing them again somewhere over by 41 where the route goes under the highway.
Right.
Okay.
Then you don't have to carry as much water.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. You remember when we used to go through that?
Oh, yeah.
That cattle tunnel, and we got pictures of Jeremiah Bishop filtering water.
Oh, I don't think he filtered. I think he just dipped his...
Well, it was a Sawyer backpack, so it was an inline filter on it.
Okay, that makes more
That was
sense.
his first year here in 2017. Nice. Yeah, there's some great shots of that. I don't know. Can you think of anything worth highlighting from North besides Pine Knob, Mark? You've done it. You got any advice that you'd give to somebody? First timers?
That north section after Pine Knob, it's give you a break. You know, that's a nice break until you get over to just past the South Trails.
What would you recommend, or how would you describe Lowe's?
Sand. Yeah.
Okay.
Sand trap.
Pick a line and don't switch. I wiped out last year.
Over by Lowe's or what?
Right before that health park, there was a big downhill with sand.
Oh, yeah.
Looked better on one side, but I was already on the right. So I tried to switch over and went down hard.
Gotcha.
Yeah, hold your line.
All right, let's move the map. Let's take a look as we get into the south. Yeah, again, I don't know. South, I think the west side of 553 is still pretty decent, flowy. You can make good time. What do you think?
Yeah, nothing stands out. There is some tough stuff. Is it yellow? Is that the trail that as you leave?
Like leaving the pavilion?
Yeah.
Yeah, so on the east side of 553 here, I agree. You'll get into some techie, rough stuff there, scary trail.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're going up back behind the ski hill. There's a lot of elevation and climbing. I think that's a spot that some people are like, I'm done.
One year I got to Easy Rider and I was going to walk them. There were these two little kids that they were like, send it, man, send it. I'm like, I got to ride it now.
Yep. A note would be that this is where, so Marquette Mountain, the ski hill will be hosting a support station with One Up again. They did that last year. And the word on the street is they're doing it again this year, which is great. I'll put out the disclaimer like I always do. Don't count on somebody providing stuff you need. You should be self-contained, self-supported for the event because let's say they decide to pack her up and take off before you get there. You're screwed if you're counting on it.
You can have your support guy meet you there. Heath Kaplan met me there last year. He had a wagon, which is a good... Because you had to park, I think, maybe across the street or...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the parking lot was across the street. And we encouraged everybody last year, we're going to encourage them again this year, that if you're supporting a racer, this is a great spot to meet them at Marquette Mountain. We would ask that you try to stay away from jamming up the South Trails trailhead where the public may be using the trail system. and try to move all the traffic down to the ski hill, the chalet area. There's tons of space. There's so much room down there.
Another tip would be that if you have time the day before, go out and look at the exact spots you're going to meet. So
Absolutely.
that, especially if it's dark,
Yeah.
it's much easier. And we have one of those old-fashioned GPSs that you plug into the vehicle, and I have all the checkpoints saved. CP1 bike, CP2 bike. He just has to get in, hit that button, and takes him right to that spot.
Yeah, that's a good tip because a lot of the folks coming to do the Marji are not from the area and they don't know where they're going.
Right.
I think looking at your meeting places the day or two ahead of time makes a ton of sense for sure. At this point, how many miles in do you think you typically are when you're getting into this area, getting ready to leave to start heading to the west? Probably 6.5. If you're trying to get to Jackson by 8.
Oh, hours?
8 hours.
You said
Yeah, number of hours.
Okay.
Sorry.
I mean, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah, it's 50-ish miles in, give or take, I'd say at this point. And then once you go back into South Trails and you go out through the Lake Enchantment area, take the snowmobile trail up to Jackson Park for the first time. I think JP, we've always said it's like 65 miles.
Yep.
What do you do when you get there to JP? You got anything that's like a ritual?
I mean, yeah, switching clothes into the walking or running stuff.
Right.
There's a lot to change, and there's not a great place to do it. You can go in the bathroom or in the woods. Woods. Like that little woods right on the edge of the road.
What do you do with your bike?
Support guy. He takes care of everything. He brings me pizza.
Have you ever not had somebody there to take your bike?
Nope.
Okay. So you change, you eat, get ready for the run.
Yep.
Got your lights and everything?
I think because we have checkpoints on that section as well, you don't need the light right away.
Gotcha.
Yeah, depending on what time it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So one thing I'm going to throw out for somebody new, because you're a seasoned veteran. So you may hear Roy talk about how he's utilizing his support crew to carry some things like lights until he needs it. Now, the event guy in me would say, if you're new, don't do that, because if you have stuff with your support crew that you are going to have at some point, and you're counting on getting it from them, if something happens to them, if they get lost, who knows? Your race could be done.
True.
So you're a vet. I'm not telling you what to do. And I'm not telling anybody what to do, but we do try to use the podcast right now for new people coming in. Like, there's things you got to think about. I would say everything that you have to have in the 25 hours you're doing Marji, have it on you. Okay.
And you can't go wrong with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Control your destiny.
Right.
Control your destiny.
Utilize the drop bags too.
Yes. Yeah, the drop bags. Hey, that's a great point, actually.
Yeah.
So do you utilize a drop bag being that you have support crew?
My support guy is on the money. He can be trusted.
Have you been in Jackson? Well, you've been in Jackson Park as a participant. Have you been there as a volunteer?
No.
Okay.
Just in and out to run errands.
Yeah.
Yeah, during the event.
So have you ever had to leverage the drop bags at Jackson Park?
Not for Marji, no.
No kidding. I've never been there because I'm always at the finish line, until the end. And my wife's running Jackson Park 1 and 2. So she's there managing the drop bags. I can't remember how many drop bags there are, but the pictures I've seen, it's like 1,000 bags.
Yeah, it's a 20 by 30-ish tent. And
there's 2 tents.
Yeah, and it's covering the footprint is covering the whole thing.
It's insane.
Maybe don't have a black bag too. Have something that stands out.
Get something that stands out for sure, because there's a lot of bags that look like the same damn bag. And last year, for the first time, we actually had some people grab the wrong bags.
Wow.
So that's suboptimal for everybody involved. But yeah, the drop bag crews, they will take your drop bags at the starts. They do transport them to Jackson Park, where you will, in theory, if you don't quit, see your drop bag twice. I'm going to add, I'm trying to think of the different things Stacy's mentioned in the past. So nobody can touch a racer's bag except the racer. So if you try to send your support crew to the tent to get your bag, they are not going to give it to them. And the reason that they're not is because there's too much chaos in the park. There's too much going on. There's too many people. And our obligation as an event organization is with you, the racer, and nobody else. So you got to come get your bag. And we're going to hand you your bag. You can take your bag, do your thing. And then if you want that bag to be there again, you need to bring it back to the volunteers and let them know you're going back out on course. If you're going to quit, or when you're done, if your drop bag is still at Jackson Park, you have to make sure to let the volunteers know you want the bag moved to JP or to the finish line. If you don't tell them that, they're not going to move it. So, I mean, we do watch the finishing results. Once we know that somebody is finished, then they are managing the boards, and then they will send the drop bags. But for people who quit sometimes, they're looking for their bags at the finish line. Well, there's no way for, if you don't text quitter to the number on the bib, Stacy doesn't know that you're not still out there.
Right.
So definitely pay attention to the mechanics around drop bags, and use them, leverage that, because it's very convenient, especially if you don't have a support crew. Sounds like you're very well taken care of.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have anything you wanted to add on drop bags? They ever lose your bag?
Nope.
Stacy will be happy to hear that.
Yeah, it's been great service.
They do. I mean, I've never been there, but they do an amazing job. They bust their asses for, every hour up to 2 a.m. They really do. And they run a tight ship. In 11 years, I can't think of more than 3 or 4 bags that have been misplaced.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. All right, so let's get back to this. So you're in JP1, you're inspired, and you're ready to walk.
I can't wait to walk. I'm so happy to get rid of the bike at that point.
Yeah. So what's your strategy in that first loop?
Keep moving fast.
Keep her moving.
Yeah, I mean, you got to jump out of the way of bikers quite a bit. So if you're doing music, you need the non-in-your-ear ones, vibrating.
Yep.
And then keep the volume low, and you got to check behind you quite a bit.
How do you manage your emotions in this section when you're on foot and you're getting asked by bikes to, step off, or they're letting you know?
You know it's coming. They're usually pretty good about it, and I try and anticipate it. So I keep looking back, and yeah, so
pretty good rapport between the bikers and the runners.
Yeah, there was one year the guys were pushing their bike up the hill in the dark later in the evening, and they said, "You don't have a bike?" I said, "You get 10 more hours if you get rid of your bike." The guy goes, "I don't want 10 more hours." So yeah, I mean you can move faster than the bikes in some sections, especially later in the night. Yeah, and you can see them coming better in the night too because of the lights.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so just keep moving. Where are you meeting your support crew in here in this first loop?
I think Malton Road is one spot.
Okay. Right. Mark's got the cursor on it there.
Yeah.
Crosses Malton in 2 spots.
Yeah, I don't remember which one it is. Is that the one by is there some type of plant there or something?
That's the one by the plant, I think it's the old Malton Electric.
That's the first checkpoint.
Yeah.
I think the second one is after you've gone through Ishpeming the first time, and there's like a little gravel lot right before you hit the single track again. That's the spot we meet.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. And then do you see him again or not until Jackson Park?
Jackson Park, and then on that Suicide Bowl Road or whatever it's called.
Yep. That's after you leave the second time.
And that's the last time. So the last segment without support is pretty lengthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing to point out, that once you have the cursor over by Suicide Bowl. Yeah, okay. Yes.
It's
right there. Yeah. So once you get there, I think that is a pretty common area where support crews do meet their participants.
Right.
And that is the last opportunity, really. I mean, Ramba's been running a aid station on the shore of Cedar Lake for the last few years.
Danny's there often.
Yep.
Yep.
So
There's some pretty good music bumping too.
that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I've never been there, but I've heard that. So there should be, or maybe support there. Can't say for certain because we don't play a part in helping you.
Right.
But other than that, other than the possibility that Ramba's there, there's nobody out there. And there's really no way to get to you.
It seems like there's a few really resourceful people that find a way to get to other spots that I have no idea how they got there. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the famed, I mean, once you leave Jackson Park the second time, it's the famed last 15 miles. Do you think, so it has the reputation of being the hardest 15 miles of the event. When you hear that, what do you think? Do you think that's legit? Is it the hardest 15 miles of the event?
I mean, it certainly is if you factor in the fact that you're tired.
Yeah, if you pull out the fatigue, like if you were able to look at if you could look at the course with fresh legs, what section or what part of the event for you do you think is personally the hardest?
So is this assuming I'm not riding the whole thing, or?
Yeah, however you want to look at it. Basically just saying, where is the toughest section of trail?
I mean, I think it's still the end. I haven't ridden the correct direction on Ramba since 2018 because I'm always either the out and back, I was going the opposite way.
Right.
And then everything else has been duathlon since that.
Okay.
So, but I get to these things at the end and I go, I can't even get down this without a bike. I don't know how the hell I do it with a bike. Like, I just don't even understand how it happens.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, there's some good riders out there.
oh, there certainly are. Yeah. I've been with Acker before. He's like, we're going to take it easy today. And I'm just dying to keep up with him. And
Acker saying we're going to take it easy today. That's funny. What do you think about
this was not during the race, of course.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Although I could see Acker saying that during the race too.
Yeah.
In
But
his
I'd never be
bearded
anywhere
way.
near him to hear it. So.
Yeah, right. What do you think? Hardest section in the event? Do you think it's the last 15?
Yeah, I think so. If you take if I were to go out and ride 15 miles of any section of
Yeah.
the Marji Gesick
Yeah.
on fresh legs, I'd say that last 15, and then doing it in the dark that's an extra element.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess the other piece is too, the last 15 is harder now than it was 5 years ago from changes that have been made to the course. You know, Danny, we talked a little bit about this with Christy, and I'm glad they've done this. They've tried to get more of the route off the 2-track, back in the single track. So, yeah, interesting. You mentioned checkpoint earlier, and it wasn't really in reference to checkpoints, the famed checkpoints.
Right.
What's your approach in the event? You come into it knowing there's going to be checkpoints, but not knowing where. You've been doing it for quite a few years, so you were doing it. Hell, back in 2016, they were plastic poker chips,
Right.
and then at some point we transitioned to the wooden nickels. So you've seen this whole progression into the era of dum-dums.
I've saved all that stuff too. I got it all piled up.
Do you have it all?
Oh yeah.
What's your approach on checkpoints, or what would you, how would you coach somebody who's new coming up here for the first time on how to approach it?
I mean, it's self-explanatory when you get there. Obviously, there's some trick ones where there's nothing and you're stopping, locking up the brakes halfway down a hill and trying to fight through the brush to get to an empty can. But you got to check it. Even if somebody tells you it's empty, you don't know for sure. They could be screwing with you.
Never trust somebody that says it's empty.
Right.
Yeah, because you could ride away or run away from that and be screwed.
Yeah. So, but yeah, make sure you secure the token.
Where do you keep yours? We asked Christy this because we see some wild ways of basically no organization. Like there's just tokens everywhere, shoved in everything. How do you do it? Do you have like a specific place?
The one thing with the duathlon is you got to remember if there are any bike tokens to bring them with you.
Yes.
You can't keep it on your bike bag.
Right.
You're not going to have that. So.
And you can't give them, the thing I'll add on that too is you cannot give your tokens to your support crew. They have to be on you. And if you get to the finish line without all the tokens and you tell me, oh, cousin Joe's going to go run to the car and get it. No, I don't know Joe. Joe's not doing the race. If you don't have it on you there in that moment, you're going to be DQ'd.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you keep them? Is there one place?
I mean, no, not really. Some of the running shorts I have pockets, but you're always checking the pocket to make sure it's still there.
Have you ever lost one?
Nope.
You've never got to the finish line and not had what you needed?
Nope, thankfully.
What did you
worry? But
what did you think that first year when you got to the red hot jawbreaker checkpoint?
I mean, I immediately assumed that was a token. I didn't even have any thought that it was something that you didn't need. I mean, I guess that's the safe thing to do, is to take it.
Yeah, like if there's 2,000 of them there, maybe take one.
Right. But I was surprised that anyone would think that, but I guess if you haven't done the event before,
sure,
then maybe you wouldn't think that that's legit. I
Yeah.
don't know. I didn't know about the colors in the bottom of the suckers.
Yeah, the
that
sticks.
was smart. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. My mother-in-law didn't think that was good because she's the one that colored them. Her and Dave Kate.
Wow.
Dave, you'll have to, when you see Dave, ask him the story about, I don't know what the hell he was doing. I mean, it's Kate, so all bets are off. But he has a story about going back to his camper and coloring the sticks. And I don't know if he had some kind of marker that he had taken the center outside of the housing, that it came in, and he's like coloring all these sticks, and apparently the fumes like overcame him. I don't know if he woke up like a day later in a haze, but yeah, it was pretty funny. He tells the story way better.
Nice.
Any other tips on the checkpoints? Are they easy to find?
Oh yeah. I mean, everything's easier at night too, because it all lights up with your lights.
Yeah, all the signage being reflective.
Yeah.
That was not necessarily the way we got taken on to the reflective material. And I'm glad that this happened, but it was the original material we used was sort of like a waxed paper. And if it was out too long in the elements, it really wasn't meant to be out there. So if it rained and stuff and was really windy, it would quickly begin to deteriorate. And they liked to fold in on themselves, so then you couldn't see the arrow, which actually is pretty funny, but not convenient. So we ended up finding a different product. It turned out it was reflective, and I think that's actually been a really good thing, especially at night.
It's great.
It's like there's lights inside of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, we talked about your perspective on checkpoints. Why do you love the duathlon? Besides the fact that you get to leave your bike.
I mean,
what else about it is great?
It's just fun to do something that's really hard once a year, and I know the track, and it's always, there's something you can challenge yourself with. I mean, last year I really was excited because I wanted to see if you could walk the whole thing and buckle. And so,
which annoys me.
I mean, and that part makes me feel good too.
I know it does, which also annoys me.
Right.
We have a very complicated relationship.
My wife says I can't be friends with you.
I know. Yeah. Did I make a good impression?
Oh yeah.
Am I okay?
I think so.
Okay.
But guys,
I swore a
guys
couple
are
times.
Clueless, so
yeah, she didn't say anything about me swearing.
I mean, I swear. So
you do?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. When we drove home, I was like, God damn it! I think I swore a few times, Stacy. I don't know how she's going to receive that. She's a retired teacher.
She's good.
Did she swear?
No.
Ever? Never?
I mean, if she's really mad, she'll say, that woman's a real bee. So, no.
Really?
If she swears, the shit is serious.
Look out.
It's like 5 times in our marriage.
Really?
Sworn, yeah.
So you swear. Do the kids swear?
Yeah, probably more than she would like.
Okay.
She blames me, probably rightfully so.
Your daughter started school, right?
Yeah, NMU.
Tuesday?
Monday.
Well, she was at Monday. How did that go?
She was sick. She got sick.
No.
Right after we left the dinner, she was feeling bad.
Blame Todd.
No, it happened too quick. You're not that powerful.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, so she been to class?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, what was her impression of her first day?
I think it went well. I mean, she's not great with change, so it's a lot of change going on right now. We're empty nesters for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
That's good, though.
She took all her backpacking stuff, and I think she's gonna do a lot of outdoor stuff. She likes winter. She likes
Yeah, it seems like it from talking to her.
yeah,
And that's great because that's one of the main reasons to go to school here.
right,
You know, I mean, if you don't go outside a lot, you're kind of missing the point of being here.
for sure.
Well, that's good that went well for her. Well, we went through the course. We got that covered. What is there a different way you approach this if you're riding it?
If you're riding the whole thing,
Yeah, the whole thing. Worst of both worlds or duathlon. Has your approach changed at all because of, the different event format? Or were you still just really focusing on the same things and staying in zone 2 and
I think the beginning stuff is still valid if you're biking the whole thing. I mean, if you want to be relatively fast, it's nice not to have to worry about traffic. So it's probably worth going outside, zone 2, probably a lot outside of zone 2 at the beginning.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really had no clue what I was getting into when I came up here the first time. And I think it worked to my advantage because there's stuff I would never
Makes
ride
sense.
now that I rode then because I was already into it. What do you do?
Right.
So,
Did you come the first time with the intention of getting a buckle?
For sure. Yeah. And then I was never close after that. Like I even I'm like, well, I did this on the buck saw. And then I failed on the buck saw.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, it's the bike. I'm going to get a different bike. I bought a Pivot.
I remember when you went to the Pivot.
Yeah, that didn't help.
It didn't.
I mean, I ended up riding all day with Jeff Zeller and we finished together and it was like 14 hours. That was the closest I got. After.
Okay, so your next closest was 14?
Yeah, I think the first time was like 11:41 or something.
17 next year. Where were we at?
That was super hot.
Yes. Yeah, that was the NUE/Jeremiah Bishop year.
Yeah, that was, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours slower.
Okay. All right. So 15, 16.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's talk about road rules because the event is managed, road rules apply. How many roads, how many trails, how many crossings are there?
Boy, I haven't thought about that. Crossings of paved roads?
Yeah, just crossings where you could get hit by something.
There's quite a few.
Yeah, in 100 miles. What do you think, Mark? If you had to throw a number out.
If I just wildly threw a number out, I'd say 15, 20 maybe. I mean, once you get into Ramba, probably more so there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be more concerned in that area.
Mm-hmm.
While it's a quieter town, it's still, you're going to be on pavement.
For sure. I bet, now I'm saying this from a perspective of road crossings, whether it's paved or gravel or whatever. Also ORV/ATV trails. I'd say I'd be concerned about upwards of 100 crossings.
Wow.
Where you could, if you're not paying attention, you could, in theory, be hit by something. So I wanted to bring it up because there's a lot of new people coming up every year, and part of the rules and we know, it's wild to me, but some people don't read the rules. Road rules apply. So when you get to a crossing, there's not going to be volunteers there managing the traffic. You have to have your head on a swivel and be looking. And I'll go even so far as to say that if somebody is at a road crossing, and let's say they have a vest on, and they're pointing and telling you to go, it's safe, don't trust them. Because I'm going to promise you that person is not there on behalf of the event. Because we don't put any volunteers on the road crossings. And I'm saying that also because 2 years ago, I got a call from the Marquette Police Department. And they asked me kindly if I would ask the volunteer who was stopping traffic on 553 at the base of the Benson Grade to stop stopping traffic. And I was like, what did you say? Say that again. And he's like, well, one of your volunteers is at the base of the Benson Grade stopping traffic, and you can't do that. And I'm like, we don't have any volunteers anywhere on course stopping traffic. So whoever that person is, I have no idea who they are, and they're doing that under their own accord. unrelated to the event. So I think they went and actually talked to the person that got them out of there. But people got to know road rules apply.
Yeah, and there's some fast sections too,
Yes.
like that rail trail that have crossings that you can't really see until you get up there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Head on a swivel. You got any special way you handle road crossings and making sure you don't get smoked by somebody?
If I see a sign that says stop, I'm deliberately going to slow down and look both ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever had anybody out there on course, volunteers at road crossings that you've seen?
The only time I've had experience with any volunteers at a road crossing was the road just coming off into the finish. So
Yeah, right there at Division.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And while they're not stopping traffic, they are pointing out that there is traffic.
Correct. And that is, thank you. That's a very important thing to distinguish, is that the volunteers are there to warn the cyclists or the runners of traffic, not to stop traffic.
Yeah. When you come screaming down that hill, there's a tendency to want to just keep that momentum
Right
on over the timing mat.
Yeah.
And that's a busy intersection.
It is. It's a 4-way, so it's I'd say fairly safe, being that we have people there and it's a 4-way stop. All traffic's supposed to be stopping. But be careful. Yeah, assume nothing. One thing I'll add too on the volunteers in road crossings and stuff. My experience for a long time has been, I think that if we're being real about the training that's given to volunteers to manage road crossings, manage people's lives and safety, you know what it is you'll bring them into a room and only a half or a third of them show up for the meeting where you're going to teach them on how to manage traffic. You're talking to them for like 20 minutes. And you're really, in my opinion, you're putting people out there and you're not setting them up for success because they haven't been properly trained. I mean, you might be able to say that you checked a box, that you did a safety training, but you're putting people out to manage vehicular traffic and cross cycling or running traffic. It's dangerous, man. Yeah. And they don't manage it well. It's our take was to step back and say, you know what? Every single individual that signs up to do this event is responsible for his or her own safety, because the world is not a safe place.
True.
Nobody can manage your safety better than you. I wouldn't trust a road crossing volunteer with nothing. It could be my wife. I ain't trusting her. Although she would have reason to send me across into traffic. So that was a bad analogy. I wouldn't trust cable.
Nice.
What's the finish line like?
I mean, these days it's pretty quiet by the time I get there.
What time have you been getting in?
I mean, the last few years, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, close to the cutoff for the buckle on the duathlon.
What's your favorite Marji memory? Do you have one?
Well,
one that stands out?
I mean, I think one that stands out for sure is Brian Chamberlain and Brian Rise were there, and Chamberlain was doing the duathlon, and he didn't make it to get out of Jackson Park by 2 a.m.
Yeah. And
he and Rise came to the finish, and they just waited for me. I mean, he had to be exhausted, and we had a place to stay right near there. You could walk to it from, but they waited for me, and that's like true friendship. I got a picture of them shivering in their coats, with their hoods up, and I just thought, man, those guys are good friends. I mean, I have a lot of really good friends.
Yeah. It's I get to see that part of it with the Suffer crew and everybody who's there managing the event, and it's my favorite part. Our year starts right away in January, and it's kind of like when we get on the other side of Marji, it's sort of the culmination of everything we run annually. And you start looking ahead to next year. It's a great way to wrap it up, where you see support crews, family, friends, and the sacrifices that everybody makes to make that event happen, and for racers to have a really good chance at finishing what they set out to do. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, just that image of, your friends in blankets or jackets and shivering, because up here in the middle of the night in September, it gets cold as hell,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
I've seen a lot of that, a lot of loved ones and a lot of friends freezing their ass off, waiting for their racer to finish right up until the bitter end at 8:30 in the morning, Sunday morning.
Yeah, that's pretty special.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And seeing the evolution too from, years ago, first few years up until probably the NUE came, the finish line was a lonely place after it got dark. Very few people, but it does it stays pretty lively. Hey, right up to 8:30. I mean, there's a couple ebbs and flows, I think, where it gets quiet, but you got people beating on the gates now.
Yeah, if one group's rallying, everybody there's rallying.
Yeah.
It's an infectious energy. It really is. It's awesome. Anything else on Marji?
No, I mean,
No other tips? No other hacks? How long is the Marji?
it's long. I mean, I think the year I buckled, it was like 110.
Really?
Yeah, but
Is that validated with a good wheel sensor?
I go right to the high school track and go around and test it. Yeah.
We need an independent tester next time.
Fair. Somebody who's more objective. Yeah.
Yeah. It is a little bit over 100, maybe a mile or two.
That affects your pace calculation.
It does.
Too. Yeah.
It does. So that, the inside joke here is that the Marji Gesick 100 is a little longer than a 100. And Roy is very particular about his data and running his projections. And when I make it longer than it's supposed to be, it upsets him.
I don't mind the length. It's just the numbers you use have no meaning. Like the MS 175 is 208 miles. Like, what the hell? Don't call it the 175.
Why not? You're getting like 25% free.
That's a good way to look
I
at
mean, if I actually tell you it's 225, then I got to charge you more. And I don't want to do that.
it. Nice.
I'm sensitive to your household budget.
Nice.
You said something the other night. This is a good segue from Marji to another topic. So while we were together for dinner, you were kindly thanking me for just all the memories and the experiences of which we've had many, many, many. But I found it ironic because as part of the events, you have, through your videos and just through different things you've done, you've inspired a lot of people to get out there, to give it a crack.
I hope so.
Absolutely. There's no doubt. So you're having a positive influence out there, getting people to try to find their own personal limits and maybe believing that, hey, maybe I can do that too if that bald guy can do it.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But the thing I wanted to ask you about a little bit is Adventure Team Bike Club, because you coach.
Yeah.
So, you're not only coming here and doing this and inspiring adults to step up to the line and, put her all out there and maybe find out they're a quitter and then have to come back and try it again. But you're working with kids in Midland.
Right.
How's that been?
It's good. I've been flipping back and forth between, like, each season I'll be with the youngest kids and then the oldest kids just for the contrast.
Yeah.
And then I'll go back to the youngest.
Yep.
And the young kids talk the whole time. They just have no filter. Great stories. It's pretty hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I made the mistake of farting in front of them once, and then I was Mr. Tootie Man the rest of the year. I'm like, it's not nice to call names.
I never heard that before. That's hilarious.
And
You've done it every year, right?
Yes.
So 4 years?
Yep.
Yeah, we've been there 4 years. What's that experience like for you? Because think about it. Here you are, endurance athlete. You're fat bike champion at Kansas /Unbound. Buckle holder at Marji Gesick. You do a bunch of other extreme shit outside of these cycling events with your trips, into the White Mountains, etc. And then you're there with a 5-year-old with a spiked helmet on, and who knows what else is going on the bike.
Sometimes
stickers,
training wheels.
Yeah. How do you manage that contrast in environment?
It's I just feel like this thing that 906 has given me so much that I should give back, and that's one way to do it. And I mean, my wife was a teacher for 25 years, and she loves hearing the stories because she can relate some of the things they say. They're like, oh, I forgot my bug spray. They're biting me. I'm like, I guess you'll remember next time. I just give them tough love, like, I'm hungry. I want a snack, but I didn't bring any. Well, tell your mom to pack one,
That's how you handle it? I love
Usually,
it.
yeah.
That's exactly how it should be handled.
Channeling my Todd.
I love that. That is so good. How do they respond?
I mean, they usually remember the next time. So, they're a little unhappy at the time, but,
What's it like switching from the young kids to the oldest kids?
The oldest kids, I mean, we had a really good group this year, but a lot of times they don't want to talk. You ask them questions, they'll answer very briefly. And, I mean, they can ride a lot faster, but it's like we had such a good group this year. Everybody was... I remember one kid went to the bathroom and it was a little distance away, and I think Julie or Crystal, somebody said, hey, Elijah, can you go with him? And, oh, yeah, no problem. There was no complaining or anything.
Yeah.
The little kids, I remember, like, if one of them says, I got to go to the bathroom,
everybody has to go to the bathroom.
Got to go. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's like a mind virus.
Right. And then I got to go.
Right. That thing with, you have a small bladder.
Yeah, true.
The thing with the older kids not talking a lot, I just feel like that's pretty universal.
Yeah.
That's just where they're at.
But you just got to ask a lot of questions to get them to talk.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's some personality differences,
right.
But generally speaking, I think the older kids are a little more reserved and quieter. And I mean, here, would you say the same?
Yeah. They stick to their age.
Yeah, exactly. It was funny because Cable was riding with the older groups as a apprentice leader, and in the older groups, they were older than him.
Wow.
So he would have been 13 the last time that he did it because he didn't do it this year. But he even came home and he's like, Dad, like, they won't talk to me. He's like, I don't think that they like me. I'm like, it has nothing to do with that. I'm like, it's just where they're at, and you're a younger kid and they don't know you, and you could be a 50-year-old dude and they're probably not going to talk to you too much. I mean, it's not you. But even Cable was like, dang, what the hell's wrong with me?
Right.
It's hilarious.
Nice.
Have you ever had one of the riders in your group have an accident out on the trail?
Like crash? Or
no,
pee their
like
pants?
crap their pants or pee their pants?
No.
I have one story. I've told this at Leadership Summit. This is like 2 years ago, or was it last year? Do you remember the poopy pants?
It was.
Was that last year?
It was May of 24.
Yeah, it was last year, right? Because you were here with us. So there was a scenario where coaches come back after the ride. Breaking everything down, seeing parents, matching parents and kids, sending them on their way. So they had done their thing, and one of the coaches came over and was like, as they was approaching to come up the ramp, he had the look. There's a look that coaches have when they want to talk about something that's going to be interesting. So he comes up and he's like, I think we had a kid in our group tonight that pooped in his pants. And I'm like, what do you mean you think he did? Like, that was 2 hours ago and you just sent him home and we haven't confirmed poop in the pants or not. And he's like, well, so, we got out there and we were stopped for snack. And then all of a sudden, a couple of the kids were like, what's that smell? And, so everybody, the chatter started, right? And then he's like, yeah. So then the coaches are like, oh, yeah, there's something's going on. There's an aroma in the air. And I think that it had kind of like the focus had sort of been narrowed to maybe where this this enhancement in the ride was coming, the smell was coming from. And so they go over to the kid and they're like, hey, like, you all right? Like, did you poop your pants? And he's like, no, I'm good. So they were like, okay, I mean, what are you going to do? Right. So they just keep riding. And if he's asked about the poop, he's like, no, didn't poop my pants. Don't know what you're talking about. Gets back to, base camp. We send him home and we don't know if he pooped his pants or not.
Oh.
So
Mystery continues.
the mystery continues. I had to ask his dad the next week, right? Because it's burning in my soul. Like, did this kid poop or not? And if he did, this guy is like boss level.
Maybe he just farts a lot.
Maybe, right? So I ended up asking Dad. I'm like, hey, did you hear about like the thoughts about last week? And he's like, yep. And I'm like, so did he? And he was like, oh yeah. And he's like, he was not going to tell you. So the kid rode 2 hours.
Wow.
Pooping his pants.
He could do Marji.
That dude, he could probably buckle.
Probably. That's dedication right there.
Yeah. It's so many things that we run into, working with the kids. It's pretty cool. Going to keep doing it next year?
Oh, yeah.
Which group are you going to be with?
I think I'll let Julie just surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like surprises?
I mean, sometimes.
I would think in your line of work that you don't like surprises.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
Do you know what he does?
Yes.
Yeah. Prosecutor. What's your license plate?
Guilty.
Guilty. Love it. Can you talk about what you do?
Sure.
So, explain. What do you do?
I prosecute cases in federal court. They typically start on the Indian reservation in Mount Pleasant. And then they typically involve violence or sexual assault. So I have murder cases, strangulation, child abuse, rape.
What prompted you to get into it? Or how did the path take you here?
So didn't know what I wanted to do in school. Really liked photography.
Yeah.
Got my degree at Grand Valley in photography.
Okay.
But, the people I knew that were doing that for a living were not earning steady paychecks.
Yeah, they're broke.
Well, plus that you didn't know where your next dollar was coming from because they're freelancing.
Sure. And how many years ago is this?
This was like early 90s.
Okay.
So I remember when I was at school, before I graduated, they had a law school night. Like, come and learn about law school. At the time, there was only U of M and Cooley that weren't in Detroit. And I didn't want to go to Detroit, and I was never getting into U of M, so there was really one choice. So I went to Cooley. I thought, we'll try this out. If it doesn't go well, I'll do something else. But by the time you're there and you get your first grades, you're like financially committed. So I interned at a prosecutor's office in Ingham County.
Okay.
Well, actually, it was extern, so I was getting school credit. I had to pay for it instead of getting paid.
Oh.
But I got to try a real criminal case, and I beat a lawyer, and the girl was found guilty, and I'm like, this is it, baby. I'm loving this. I went back to the office. I was flying high, and somebody said, you got a trial buzz. And so
the competitive fire.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's really rewarding. I've had victims say, thank you for saving my life and the lives of my children. A lot of the case, I just had a guy get sentenced today to 140 months. But I've had, life sentences. And
what was your first gig out of college then? Or when you had your degree and you're done with the schooling, what was your first gig?
Isabella County Prosecutor's Office in Mount Pleasant.
Okay.
So that was like, starting off with fairly minor state cases, shoplifting and assault and battery. And
then how do you go from that to the federal level? How hard is it to make that transition?
I mean, you got to get lucky probably. I mean, I had been doing this. I moved up through the ranks. I was the chief assistant in Isabella County. I was there for 11 years, but I had a counterfeiting case. And I got contacted by a federal agent and said, we'd like to take this federal. Will you dismiss this case in state court if I can get it indicted in federal court? And I said, sure. Yeah, I mean, why not? We don't need to both prosecute them, even though technically you can. But we kept getting close to the trial deadline, and my judge is saying, what are you doing, Kranz? I got to know. We're not going to keep pushing this off. So I called the agent and said, what's going on? I mean, when is this going to happen? And he said, they're really shorthanded at the U.S. Attorney's Office in Bay City. And I said, that's interesting. And I was ready for something, new challenges. So I applied, didn't get it the first time. But then when they had another opening, they called and offered it to me. And been doing that for 11 years with the state and 16 with the feds.
What happened with the case?
Who knows?
Mm.
I mean, I think they ultimately indicted it, and
Okay.
we dismissed.
Okay.
We do that a lot.
Were
now.
you gone by then?
I think I was still a state prosecutor and had dismissed our end of it so
Okay.
it could go federal. And by the time I got to that office, it was enough time had passed. I mean, the FBI background check takes a long time to get through. And
What's it like? How is it different to prosecute at the state level versus federal level?
I mean, the Fed sentences are usually a lot harsher. You get a lot of guys like the guy today in court. It was a drug case, and he's like, I'd be getting nowhere near this if it was state court. And the judge is like, you're right. But you're not in state court. And,
Right. Just because of what the charges were?
and often if you're delivering drugs in state court, it depends on where you're at. Like if you're in my experience, this is just my experience, but you see these criminal histories of people doing this in big cities, they don't get much time. They get 30 days, 60 days. But if you've done it more than once and you have 2 convictions for delivery, now you're a career offender.
Okay.
So that's a reason that we might charge you in federal court. You're not getting it. It's not helping what's happening in state court. This new case, we're going to take federal. Now the guidelines, even with the plea, are 151 months to 188 months. And so what happens, you actually get a break on the guidelines if you plead. You get an acceptance of responsibility credit. Usually it's 3 offense levels lower. So your guidelines are lower. But if you say, look, I shouldn't be getting 15 years. I got 30 days the first time and 60 the second time. I'm not pleading. Well, now your guidelines are higher and you're going to lose probably. So people get these fairly large sentences in federal court.
Wow. So as a prosecutor, right, you're going up against the defense?
Yes.
So you're, in theory, putting bad guys away.
That's the job.
And is that why you're doing it?
I mean, that's very satisfying. And I mean, I really feel like I'm contributing to society. And
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. So is there, a bit tied to what you do because you feel like it's having a positive impact?
Right. The tough thing with domestic violence, I do a lot of those cases, is sometimes you're fighting the victim just as hard as you're fighting the defense.
Okay.
Because they, for various reasons, maybe they've been threatened. If they leave, he's going to take the kids, or you're not going to survive financially without me, or nobody's going to love you, if you leave me. And so sometimes the trial, I've had a trial once where the entire evidence was the video of her telling the police what happened right after it happened while she was upset.
Yep.
And then the next day reiterating everything on video. And I'm having to use like the catch-all hearsay exception that nobody ever uses, that you have to get permission from the judge ahead of time to use. And then, you worry the juries, they can do whatever they want. They can nullify and find them not guilty, even if you have proved the case.
Yep.
And if the victim doesn't care, why should they? So there's a lot of, I've seen the cartoon of the prosecutor and the defense attorney running a race, and the defense attorney's lane is clear, and there's all these hurdles and traps and stuff for the prosecutor. I mean, it's a challenge. So,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's more of a challenge for prosecution?
I mean, for sure.
And why is that? Why would it be set up that way?
I mean, to protect innocent people.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That I see that, the theoretical idea behind it.
It's better to let, 10 guilty people go free or 100 than to convict an innocent person. So,
You ever got it wrong?
I mean, not that I know of, but I have gotten into a trial where I believed that my case wasn't what I thought it was. And I thought, I'm just dismissing this. And I have done that before.
Have you?
Yeah, in state court.
So meaning like you felt like maybe you didn't have a case?
I mean, I think I could have cobbled together enough to possibly convict, but I felt uncomfortable with it. And so I...
Gotcha. What's that feel like when you get to that point? If you go into it thinking like you got to lay of the land and you know what's up, and then maybe you get halfway in and you're like, I'm not so sure now.
I mean, it's only happened the one time that I can recall.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, the longer the cases go on, they try and delay them because things can happen. Your witnesses can die. They can move away. They can, OD on drugs or whatever. So there are things that can change in your case that you couldn't have known about ahead of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you think? And this is speculation, and this is not like, I'm just curious what your thought, because like I could see maybe where somebody, a prosecutor gets in going after the defendant, right? And the deeper he or she gets in, it's like, boy, I'm not so sure this is the right course of action. Is there ever, because it seems like it's a win-lose environment. It seems like it would be potentially easy to get target locked and just winning.
I'm sure that happens. I've had the benefit of working with incredibly good bosses that believe that doing justice is the important thing and not how much you win. And so,
that's good.
Yeah.
The balance.
Right.
Yeah. Maintaining the justice. Yeah. That's good. Does it ever make you nervous doing it?
I mean, I get death threats. I've had,
like recently?
Not,
or has it been a while?
Not super
you on a dry
recently.
spell?
Yeah, a little bit. There was one family in particular, but I think I took care of most of them. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's got to be a little unsettling. I mean, in your line of work, I could see that would be a thing.
I got, the office paid for motion sensor lighting and alarm systems, and they offered to have a marshal sleep at my house and take me to work in bulletproof vest, and I was
so serious.
They deputized me as a special U.S. Marshal to carry everywhere in federal buildings, and yeah.
How'd the family handle that?
Oh, I mean, I think they were fine. They're used to it, and I honestly don't worry about it too much. Like if somebody really wants to kill you, they're gonna figure out a way to do it. So
absolutely.
be aware of your surroundings. I remember the first week I worked in the courthouse I'm in now, and I thought I somehow discovered like you have to stop on the second floor if you're on the first floor to go through security. But I told my agent on the third floor, wait about 1 minute and then push the down button. I went to the first floor, got in, didn't push any buttons. He pushed down, took me right to 3 without going through security. So I told the guys about it. I'm like, hey, you got a little lapse here. And they're like, oh, we were watching on camera. We knew it was you. If it was someone else, we would have come running. Like, okay.
Do you believe that?
I mean, those guys are pretty sharp, but yeah.
That's a good cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been a good career?
Yeah. I mean, very rewarding. And
yeah. How much longer do you think you do it?
7 years and 3 months.
And then you're done.
I mean, there's a lot of adventures to be done. So
absolutely. Yeah. Then what? Just trips?
Probably. Yeah.
What's your wife going to do now that she's retired?
Well,
she's at the library, right?
Working, 3 days a week. And she also does she was asked again to do the interventions. So,
oh, good.
Yeah. So she'll be busy. She's in garden club and 2 different book clubs.
Okay. She ride?
Oh, no. I took her to the Slick Rock Bike Trail in Moab, and she'll never ride again. That was a big mistake on my part. Oh, yeah.
How many years ago?
Oh, it was in the 90s. It was a long time ago.
What happened, Roy? What did you do?
I did buy her a bike a few years ago, and I said to the bike shop, Ray's Bike Shop, great place, I said, if the word divorce comes up, can I bring it back before she rides it? And they said, yeah. And so I think she might have rode it once, and we gave it away. So.
What happened in Slick Rock?
I mean, we fell a bunch of times. And, yeah, it's a hard trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was that her first time riding?
Probably not, but I mean, it was
mountain biking.
Yeah, probably. Rented bikes, backpacks. It was a disaster.
It's funny having done this for as long as I have. How many stories like that I've heard, and the guy's like, "Yeah, probably shouldn't have done that." And then the wife doesn't ride.
Right.
Oh my God. Oh boy.
She likes to hike and backpack, so got to take what you can get.
Yeah, I mean that's good. Do you guys do any big trips together, the two of you?
Yeah, I mean we just took my daughter to Iceland and did some hiking, but we have a Utah. There's this hidden canyon. I'm not going to name it, but if anyone wants to contact me about it, I can give you all the beta. But I do it every year. I want to do it at least 10 times.
Okay. And why 10? What's
I don't know, because I want to do it a lot.
Okay.
It's like the Zion Narrows.
Yeah.
But it's free, no permit required, and there's nobody there but you.
Oh, that sounds like paradise.
It's amazing. And there's
Yeah.
two cruxes on the route. One is there's this waterfall you're above, and you either have to jump into the water, which I've never been brave enough to do, or you backtrack and climb up to this hole, and you got to take your pack off and squeeze through the hole, and then there's a rope that lowers you down about 35 feet, and you got to manage the packs, and then after
like
that,
that.
there's a wall you got to climb to get out of the canyon.
How steep's the wall?
I mean, at points, it's vertical.
No
You're
shit.
not roped in, and I took my daughter there this last fall, which was my like 4th or 5th trip there, and she thought she was gonna die, and I thought I am a horrible parent. I am a horrible parent, and she made it, and she
She did it.
I'm like, as long as she gets through it, this will be a great story.
Boy, that's rolling the dice, my friend.
I know. I was doing the whole like lift her foot up and carry her pack for her,
Yeah.
but she's not great with heights, and so but she managed, and she also said I would do that whole thing again except for the wall climb at the end. So
Well, if she's done that, she's going to be fine around Hogback and Sugarloaf.
right,
Yeah.
she's done those before.
Yeah. Do you think she'll hit like Picture Rocks at all? Has she done Picture Rocks?
I think she will. I don't think she's been there.
No? You think she'll end to end it?
I hope so. That was one of our first big trips. We did the whole thing in a day.
Yeah. You and who?
Morgan Anderson, a buddy of mine from college.
I don't think I know Morgan.
So we did the one way. It's 42 and a half miles. And we joked, hey, how much would I have to pay you to turn around and go back? Ha, ha, ha. Nobody ever do that. We did it. 10 years later, we walked it. Eric Carlson and I, 85 miles, no sleep. And then
When was that? How many years ago?
that was probably 15 years ago or 13 years ago.
Okay.
And then 2 or 3 years ago, Scott Kentner and I ran the out and back. So we shaved like 10 hours off our time
Wow.
from
Oh, shit.
previous. Yeah. But then
Wow.
somebody came along and took it pretty quickly.
Did they? Well, how fast did they do it?
I don't know. They also rubbed it in because you get to Grand Marais and the trail ends. They extended it down to Lake Superior and back. Yeah. But I think Kentner could do it. I mean, he's a beast.
Oh, man. He's a good dude.
Oh yeah.
He is. What's next after Marji? Are you doing Iceman this year?
No, I haven't done that in years.
Okay.
Taking my wife on the Utah backpacking trip.
Got that coming up.
yeah.
Anything else? Or then are you looking ahead to next year?
Bike packing, BT 700, actually 800 kilometer route now. Doing that in October.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's that at?
You go through Lapeer area there where you cross over, and it's basically the Bruce Peninsula area, but it's a great route.
700 miles?
It's 800 kilometers.
800 kilometers.
So I think it's about 500, 600 miles.
So how many days are you thinking?
I think a couple of the guys that I adventure with have very specific kid exchange schedules. So we have to like start on a Thursday and we have to end on a Wednesday.
Okay.
So we're going to use all that time.
Now, is this a race?
Oh, no.
No.
I mean, they do have a grand depart, I think.
Okay. They do have a grand depart, but you're just going to do the route?
Right.
Okay, got it.
Just an adventure,
Got
fun
it.
with the buddies, get some
Okay.
ice cream along the way.
Haven't done it before?
Oh, I've done it a few times.
Okay.
Yeah.
New people or return people that have done it with you?
Some return, some new. Yeah.
How long does it normally take you?
I think there's guys that can do it in a couple days, but I think the way to do it is like 6 days of riding.
Got it. Do you tent or hammock?
I've never done the hammock, so we tent, but there's also a couple options. There's a guy that has a little adventure, like guiding service that you can rent a room there and get a shower. He'll take you to the grocery store. It's an adventure. He's like 80-something years old, and he doesn't stop at stop signs. And I thought, well, he's probably been doing this a long time. I'm sure we're fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Famous last words.
Right.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Have you heard of that, Mark? Yeah, I hadn't either.
It's the Butter Tart 700, or they call it the
Butter Tart.
700, but they've extended it. It's you go through all these little towns. We basically only filtered water once because we just hit these gas stations or whatever. and
Oh,
then
okay.
They have one guy along the route. If you contact him ahead of time, he gives you the code to his gate. You can get in his place, and it's a little cabin. You don't stay in the cabin, but there's an outdoor shower, which we use, which is amazing. There's a spigot for clean water. You can plug in your devices and camp in his field. That was pretty sweet.
Is this road, gravel,
Mostly
trail?
gravel, but a lot of single track.
Is there a lot of single
Oh
track?
yeah, I think you'd like it.
What kind of single track? I mean, is it technical?
No,
Not
nothing. I mean, you could do it on a gravel bike, but
How much elevation?
I'd have to look. I don't remember.
Does it seem like a lot? Is there a lot of climbing?
There's a lot of climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up. I think maybe I've heard you talk about it before.
I'll send you the video.
How long is it?
5 minutes.
Okay, yeah, I'll watch that. What do you got planned for next year? Have you thought about it?
I told you I had a couple things cooking. I mean, one of them, I'll just put it out there. Lake Superior Provincial Park is a place I love. We go there in the winter. There's a place I picked on the map I tried to get to in the winter about 15 years ago, and we tried 3 separate times and failed. And this year we made it. So you're just connecting.
What was the failure? What was stopping you?
Like open water that we couldn't cross in the winter. And one year I fell through the ice, so that kind of sucked. But we kind of had given up on it because last year we tried to get there in the logging road that has been abandoned for a long time.
Yeah.
Years ago we could walk down that. Well, now it's harder to walk on that than anything else with all the growth on it. And so conditions have to be right, and you have to pick the right path. But anyway, they have a bunch of trails there that are pretty challenging.
Yep.
But I've never hiked all of them, but I want to hike all of them in one shot. I mean, not in one day, but hike one and then bike to the next one, hike one, bike to the next one, and hit all of the trails and just camp, at night.
I think you messaged me about that. I think I was on the chain.
Yeah, I always invite you to come.
I think I was on the chain. I haven't been there in years, but it's beautiful.
Oh, it's amazing. It's like Isle Royal, but much closer and easier to get to.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic.
Wolves, moose, 85-foot waterfalls, rocky shorelines.
So that's on the plan for next year.
I mean, it's in the works. I don't know. I mean, I have these big dreams. They don't all come true, but
A lot of them do.
The other thing is there's an unclimbed mountain in Hawaii that has been dubbed by a mountaineer as quite possibly the hardest mountain to climb on that particular island. But it looks pretty scary. I mean, it's a lot of bushwhacking, and I think we'd have to probably be prepared to sleep up there for a couple nights. But
how tall is it?
It's not super tall, but it's just really steep, and there's no trails, so it's a lot. I mean, I think you're just bushwhacking through the jungle up really steep terrain. So I'm trying to convince enough people to sign up for that one. I think I need my son because he's experienced rock climber and mountain guide.
Right.
He's been to Africa, climbed a bunch of high points there.
You in for that?
Sounds like a nice vacation.
It's Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
Nice. How many people would you take on that?
I mean, you want probably like 3 or 4. The guy that my son went to Africa with is the guy that has his name is Eric Gilbertson, and he's climbed the most country high points of anyone in the world. So my son, who thought he wanted to do that, contacted him, said, I want to do what you do. And the guy's like, I'm going to Africa over Christmas. My son's like 18, and he's like, yeah, I'll come with you. So he flew out there, and they got held at gunpoint. They had to pay bribes. They had accidents with the Land Cruiser, and I mean, it was an adventure. He called me on Christmas, and he goes, we got a hotel. It's $5 a man per night. They have a toilet. They have running water. They have soap. Oh, yeah, they don't have any of that stuff. I'm like, they don't have a toilet? They don't have toilet paper? What are you doing? Oh, just use your hand. Well, how do you clean it then if you got
He was telling this story at dinner Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
His wife stopped.
Yeah, she did. But they had one hike with black mamba snakes. They had to buy rubber boots. He's a 13. He could only find 11 and a half, so he had to squeeze into them. And yeah, it was an adventure. He knows how to suffer. He's learned well.
Yeah, he's done some stuff. Yeah. When you give me the updates on what he's been up to, he's young and he's done some stuff already.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's nice. Very cool.
Hopefully he stays safe.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was raised the right way, and, everything's got its own inherent pre-programmed danger, right?
Right.
It's all about what are you willing to accept.
for sure.
risk assessment, and hopefully, minimizing as much risk as possible. But you brought your daughter up a sheer vertical rock wall.
And I kept thinking, like, I don't remember this being this hard.
the rock wall.
Yeah, when I was with my friends, I wasn't worried about it.
Probably, it's different. You put your daughter on it.
I know.
That's a different scenario.
I started questioning my life choices for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, it worked out okay. So you dodged another one.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you should reflect back on that story about your wife's first mountain bike trip.
Yeah, that was a fail. Big time.
Well, are you going to commit? Am I going to get you to commit to Unbound or what? I'm going to keep hammering on it.
I mean, I said I wasn't going to do it again. And then my wife knew that was probably unlikely. So
unlikely.
She asked me a couple
You
months
love
ago.
that. Like
I do, but it's if I want to do it right, I got to give up a lot of this other stuff.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
that makes sense.
I really like the bike packing, the backpacking.
Yeah.
I've hiked 1,250 miles this year and only biked like 3,700. So it's kind of a rough year for the bike. And
But is that, you've got, there's some extenuating circumstances, right?
yeah,
But you're adapting
yeah,
and you're making the most of it.
right.
So, 1,200 miles hiking, that's a hell of a lot of miles hiking.
I mean, that counts like walking the dog every day. So
Yeah, but you're staying active.
yeah.
Keep it moving.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
absolutely.
And just keep it rolling.
Yep.
Interesting. You got any hope for Marji time this year, or are you just going to walk it again?
I mean, I think I'm going to take your advice and use the whole 25.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think it'll be fun to not have to rush at the checkpoint. I don't mean checkpoints, the meetup points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with your support crew.
I mean, last year was basically just stopping for like 20 seconds to switch out stuff. And I mean,
And was that because of the pace you were holding?
Yeah, because of the walking issue. Yeah. I really was motivated to walk fast enough to buckle without running.
Mm-hmm. How close was it?
15 minutes or so. It was pretty close. I mean,
Wow.
kept thinking if he extended this course by even a mile, that could make a difference.
Wow, that is 15 minutes, actually. That's really close.
It was close. And
Because that's not allowing for something that could have gone wrong.
right?
Wow.
Or a cramp or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
I was kind of hoping you'd change the buckle time and then I would have no worries about even trying to, resist the temptation of trying to get the buckle.
Yeah, when we set the times, I don't like changing them.
Well, that's good for duathlon people. No wonder. I mean, when I first started doing it, there was like 20 people.
Yeah.
Now there's like 100 or something.
Yeah, I don't know if it's 100, but there's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like changing the times after we've set them. We did change the
run.
And that one was, that time was set by bikers. We're not runners. So we did change that to try to, because it was unrealistic where we put it, to start with. And that was proven out by people not being able to do it. So we did adjust that one. But I don't know. I mean, I look at the duathlon and I think it has encouraged a lot of people, whether they're a biker at heart or a runner at heart, to embrace something else and get good at something else.
Right.
And that's been kind of cool to watch. There's been a lot of bikers that have kind of crossed over. During the Crusher, when we were running the Fist, that was definitely, for the most part, people who've completed the Fist, because you had to do the 225, the 100, the 40 bike, and then that 50-mile run. That most of the people that finished that were converted bikers, that went and did that 50-mile. Did you ever do the Fist?
No.
Yeah, it's just cool to see different challenges that we put out like that.
I became a runner just for Marji.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Because prior to that, it was just biking and hiking.
Right.
What happened? Were you signed up for the 100-mile run?
Never.
No.
No.
Have you talked about it?
I mean, I thought about it.
Why have you not talked about it? You're Roy Kranz.
I mean, every runner I know is injured all the time, and I just got enough of those issues. So
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's fair. I mean, Christy said out of all the things that she's done at Marji, she still thinks that running the 100 is by far the hardest way to do
I believe it.
Marji. I can see that. I've said that I think that, and I'm not a runner. It's just, that's probably partially why I say it, because I'm not a runner.
Right.
And I'm like, that looks terrible. And the runners, man, they are in a bad place when they come in. They just get beat up.
Matt Frazier has done your event a bunch of times, and he is like the most amazing runner I've ever met. And he failed so many years, and I thought, well, if he can't do it, there's no way.
Yeah, he
did it. I mean, afterwards.
Yeah, he did end up getting it done, but I remember that.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of like the runner equivalent of Chad, not getting it done, showing up, not getting it done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But, eventually they both did get it done, to their credit.
Nice.
Because they just kept showing up and working through that unfinished business.
Right.
Yeah, it was good. Do you use the ethos, the different statements you hear from 906 events? Any of those ever get thrown around the house, annoying your kids?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you ever use one on your wife?
No, I know better.
Yeah, don't do that.
No.
You guys use any of the ethos statements around the house?
Yeah, I think they come up from time to time.
The two that come up most often in our house would be "do hard things" is number one, and then the other one that came out of when I did Marji with Pete and Eddie, and Liz hopped in toward the end, but it was great until it wasn't. I just remember that was COVID year, Yeah, there you go.
That was Jake on our video. That's where that came from.
Yep.
Yeah.
When we were in the last 15 trying to get the thing done. This was COVID, so we were just doing it EX style, and somebody said something about how things were going, and as we were riding away, I was like, well, it was great until it wasn't. So that gets thrown around the house quite a bit.
Nice.
Yeah. How do your kids embrace? I mean, I know your son's out doing wild shit. How maybe it hasn't at all. Do you think that the lifestyle that you and your wife have informs the kids at all, or has influenced them?
I think so. I mean, my wife and I are vegetarian, and they're staunchly against doing that.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah. So other than that, I mean, they definitely...
Have you always been on that?
No.
When did that start? Wasn't it like in recent years?
16 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. When I started the new job, I actually got caught in an airport, and I ran out of stuff to read. So I bought a book at the bookshop, and it was Skinny Bastard.
Yep.
And it was hilarious. It was so funny. I read the whole thing, and I called my wife when I got to the work hotel, and I said, I just read a book that changed my life. She said, oh shit. That was one of the few times she swore.
Seriously?
She was not happy. And I said, look, I'll make all the meals from now on. I'll put meat in it after I get my portion out. And she was not real thrilled. She read the woman's version, Skinny Bitch, and she immediately went vegetarian too. So
what from the book prompted it? Like, what convinced you?
They talk about the China study, which is this 50-year study on hundreds of thousands of Chinese people, and they study their diets, and a lot of the vegetarian people didn't choose that because of some reason, like a health reason or anything. It was just they didn't have the money to buy meat.
Okay.
And it just, I read that book too because I wanted to make sure that this other one wasn't misrepresenting what it said. But that's the guy who wrote the China study grew up on a dairy farm, so he always believed milk was good and meat was good, and eventually changed his mind on that due to the lack of diseases that the vegetarians got, like cancer and heart disease. I mean, obviously there are other factors, and
this study was done in China?
Yes. I mean, it was Chinese participants that they were studying. I don't know where they, did all the research, but it was it was a long study of a lot of people. And so it was there were other reasons. Obviously, there's some people that are vegan or vegetarian due to animal cruelty concerns.
Yeah. Well,
So
always.
that felt good that I wasn't having animals killed anymore, at least for that reason.
Right.
And so,
So but the kids didn't buy into it.
I mean, they had to at first because once we both committed, it was like, if we went to the restaurant or something, they could order whatever they wanted, or if they went to their friend's house, but we weren't actively buying
That's
stuff.
true. So you guys are making dinner.
Right.
So the kids or whatever is getting thrown on the table.
Yeah.
God, thank God my parents didn't do that. Oh my God. How different would my life be?
You never know.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's scary.
Yeah.
Might dodge a bullet there.
So anyway, that influence didn't rub off. That was a tangent, but
But do you think the outdoor adventure stuff?
I think for sure. I mean, a lot of our vacations are focused on hiking. So like sometimes if they get a day where they go to the beach or something, they're like, hey, well, why don't we do this more? And so they do kind of miss what they don't have, but they enjoy the hikes. And like I said, my daughter brought all her stuff up to outdoor adventure up here, and that's one of the reasons she picked this place to go to school. So
that's always been part of their life,
yeah.
clearly.
Yep, carrying them in the backpack, and
Yeah.
I mean they climbed their first mountains when they were little kids. I
Yeah.
think she was 3. Yeah.
What do you think? You have daughters, right? 5 daughters.
What do I think about what?
Talking about the influence part with, you adventure a lot. I mean, I don't know necessarily how much. Well, you and Billy, you're out doing stuff. Before Billy too, before you guys were together, like how much do you think that your lifestyle choices informed or influenced your kids?
I can certainly see the endurance aspect of doing some of the things that I've done.
Sure.
Has definitely carried over to them. Yeah, I think they see adventure differently. I've got one daughter who's going off to Portugal and doing a 180-mile backpack here in the next year.
Wow.
Solo.
That's cool.
Solo trip. So yeah, I think momentum is starting to build, and I think they're starting to see there's some mirroring things going on there.
Each of them pretty active outdoors?
I wouldn't say that. Yeah, I think they all adventure in their own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, and that's good too.
Yeah.
Because kids are all so different. I mean, I look at Gavin and Cable and, they got some similarities, but they got a lot that's wildly different too.
Yeah, there's never been a whole lot of pressure. Just do your thing. And
I think, how much do you think your kids felt any pressure?
Definitely. For the biking, they both did some racing, and kids, unless you're super serious as a kid, you're not going to train specifically. So they would just go out and they would see the work I put in, and I would have some success, and then they wouldn't. And so that would, kind of make them feel bad, I think. And I feel like I never pushed them into it. I think they wanted to do it, but then, it didn't go the way they thought it would. And,
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I can see that, right? I think, I think the best approach is, make it available to them. If they buy in, cool. If they don't, cool. Help them figure out their thing, whatever that thing is, hey?
Right.
I mean, I do think it's good for them to get exposed to options.
Right.
Otherwise, how do you even know, what's out there or what you like or don't like? I think that's important, but whatever. So what are you doing when you take off out of here?
I thought I'd call my daughter, see if she wanted to get some border grill.
Did you bring up a vehicle?
I brought her vehicle, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to get picked up by the other guys doing the Crusher EX. So.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Tomorrow? Saturday.
No, Saturday.
Did you know he's going out? Or he's going to do the Crusher?
No, I didn't know that. Which one are you doing?
100 EX.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. With.
Are you on the beacon list?
Yeah, I got an email.
Okay. All right.
Justin Ingwis.
Okay, good.
Brian Chamberlain.
So just 3 of you?
Yeah.
100 EX.
Cool. Yeah, there's
You did Crusher last weekend, right?
Yeah, we did the beers 40 but turned into 70.
The 70-mile edition of the
Wow.
EX Beers 40. That was something related to a missed checkpoint.
Yeah, well, there was 2 other experienced guys in the group.
Yeah.
And one guy who had never done an EX before.
Yeah.
And there was 5 of us total. One guy had a catastrophic failure with his derailleur and ended up turning around about 5 miles into it. And then there was one guy from East Lansing who had started just after we took off, and he passed us when we went back to check on the guy with the mechanical.
Okay.
And so he's out in front of us at this point. Next thing I know, we're up on top of Arvon, and we went by the crash site, and I just kind of giggled a little bit, like, that'll come back. We got to Arvon, and all the buddies were collecting up on top of the mountain.
So you went by the crash site
We did.
and didn't stop.
I didn't say anything.
Did you catch that?
Is
Right
that a
by
checkpoint?
right by the checkpoint.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Jerk.
So we get to the top, and then the guy from East Lansing rolls up, and then everybody's like, well, where the hell did he come from? How did we get ahead of him? Like, keeping the secret.
Yeah.
So we got all the way around and then got to the finish and went back out to the crash site. And then,
Wow.
So you got all the way to the finish without getting the crash site checkpoint.
yep. And then went back another, I think it was an 8 or 9 mile out and back. And we had a couple other little things that went on. I got hot down the backside of the trail no
Trail
return.
no return.
The sun just popped out, and I was like,
Missed the turn.
for a long ways.
Intentionally placed. And he's not the only one that's missed it in this crusher season. It actually makes my heart glow.
I enjoyed every bit of that.
Yeah.
Even coming up, I was just laughing to myself, like, yeah, that was really a joy to just fly down.
What'd you think of the route altogether? Like in its total,
We've touched on a lot of those miles and a variety of different routes. This
Yeah.
is the first time I've ever done a 40 or anything other than a 225. So
yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was, it just fit in the day real nice.
Yeah.
And the big thing was get back within 12 hours. I want the guy to get his green dot.
Right. So when did he find out? When was it broke to him, or did he realize that he had missed the checkpoint?
On our run.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was the decision made to go all the way around and then out and back it because that was the most efficient?
No, not really. It was just
Okay.
we're gonna keep moving. Yeah. Keep moving forward.
Was he like, did you have a plan as you kept moving forward for how you were going to get the checkpoint?
I was kind of hoping we'd miss the rock cut too, and then really make it an adventure.
Wow.
But so this guy, he did not come prepared, and I said right out of the gate, I'm like, I'm not going to be the guide. I'm
Yeah.
here to have a good time. I wasn't even planning on loading the file on my device. Just
Right.
have an offline
Gaia?
line option. Gaia.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gaia. And
Again, drug dealer pushing Gaia on everybody. That's the joke.
so the one thing I did do was load Gaia on his phone the night before.
That's good.
And get the route on it.
Yeah.
It saved his ass because when we were going up the trail no return, he went past it. He didn't see us turn.
Oh, so he missed the turn to go up the trail.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So it did save his ass. We got to the top of where were we? Well, we got to a certain point and there was a high five. Thanks for loading that on there.
Oh, he told you?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's
Well,
good.
We all knew. We sat on top of trail no return and waited. But that was what saved his ass. He didn't see tire tracks anymore. And it had rained the night before, so you could see tire tracks.
That blows me away. We preach the readiness and preparation to the point that it makes people want to vomit hearing it. And then people still show up just not prepared, eh?
Yeah. Well, Justin put his watch on. He had it loaded on his watch, and he gave him his watch after that.
Ooh. I mean, you're probably okay on the 40, maybe. But, oh boy. Stuff can go sideways out there.
No question about it. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend. I'm two options. You got to have two digital options.
Yeah. Well, here's a support crew story actually that just recently happened. Two runners went out and they had a support person in a vehicle. And I guess there was a plan or somewhat of a plan. And the support person ended up going the wrong place, wrong direction, whatever, had multiple flats. So they were disconnected from the support person who had everything they needed. Like they were out there with a water bottle or two. That's all they had. Everything else was on board the vehicle. No filtration equipment on them. And I was starting to get text messages while they're out there. And as I'm getting these messages and the information's compounding, I'm like, I might be taking a ride. Actually, I was actually at the house working from home and Cable was there and he wanted to go to a friend's house. And I'm like, no, we might be leaving. I need you to stick by here. We did end up having to go out. They did end up finishing. But I just remember sitting at home thinking like, this could go bad quick. Because I could tell in the text I was getting, they were growing increasingly concerned because now they were out of water at some point and no food and stuff. And it's like, oof. It's been a while since that happened. That first year, 2020, when we did EX, I did it up, even though we said that we wouldn't. I ended up having to extract a couple people that year.
Wow.
Yeah. Since then, it hasn't really happened. But man, if you're going to go out there, you got to be prepared for it because it's unforgiving. And you just never know weather-wise what's going to blow through there. How was your weather?
It was good. We got a little light mist. I mean, it was cool and wet to start out, but like I said, we got the
50s cool or 60s?
Yeah, we were wearing sleeves until we started climbing Arbonne.
Okay.
Yeah.
When's the last time you did a 225?
2020 for finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we tried.
Then didn't you go out in 21?
I think it was 21 with Jared Dunham, Zach Scafferty, Eric Carlson.
Yes.
Eric and I bailed.
There was something medically, right, for Eric that year. Yeah.
We still made 175.
Yeah.
I mean, I was ready to be done. I was happy to help him out of there. The other guys finished.
Yeah. Zach, man, he killed it at the point to point.
I think he's still suffering from that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Still feeling it physically?
That's what the wife told me.
Really? We should check in on him.
I asked Ashley about it, and she said he was still recovering.
Is he coming up for Marji?
I don't know. I think so, because Ashley is running the 50, so he's supporting her.
Well, Marji Week is not a week for podcasting, but
Oh, there'll be one. I know there will be.
Maybe more
I mean,
than
being
one.
realistic, it probably will happen.
Right.
I might have to get a hold of him to see if he'd come on. We haven't actually had he was second. Ed was first. We had Christy here yesterday, but we really didn't get into the crusher too much in that point to point. It would actually be cool to kind of do a debrief on that, with somebody and kind of just talk through the whole course.
I'll get you his number.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I like that guy. He's a good dude, and he crushed it.
Oh, yeah.
Like what him and Ed did on single speeds is mind blowing.
Yeah.
On that course. Damn. Is that are you thinking about that one?
Not seriously. Zach said, let's do it together. And I said, are we sleeping every night? And he said, oh, I'm only going to sleep when I have to sleep. I said, what if I have to sleep and you don't?
So if we add a little bit of time, let's say you have 7 days next year and, you have the ability to sleep, would you do it?
Sounds a lot more tempting.
Yeah. 5 days was, when we put it out at 5 days, it was like, okay, this is going to be, I never doubted that people would finish it. People who were out there talking about this is impossible. That was annoying.
I like Kiko's response.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're new here, aren't you?
Right. Like that's like so anti 906 to say that. It's
right.
ridiculous, Like you want to, what kind of motivation do you want to give somebody to say something like that?
Right.
But it would be with 7 days. It's not easy, but it's more manageable, I think.
Get a full night's sleep every night. That sounds pretty doable, but still hard.
Yeah, I think get back to like the adventurous format. 100 miles a day or more, depending on what you're pushing. And yeah, you'd be able to program in some decent sleep into that. The routes from everybody who did it, the feedback on the route's been pretty solid. I don't see really any reason to change much of it. Even looking at the Crusher or the other mass start events, I think that for the most part, the courses will remain largely the same, maybe change directionally, flip it or something. We haven't fully decided on that. We've already started working on it for next year.
Wow.
What we would do is there were a few sections, maybe in the 175 and the 100, that were just unnecessarily slow, that we would pull out potentially just to speed up the times a little bit. But like the core of the stuff that made the event memorable, we'd leave in there. And then we want to look at the 40 and just how that one rolls too. So everybody's going the same direction.
So you don't have any traffic that's meeting on the trail?
Yeah, we did this year. And we knew we were going to have traffic that would be going opposite directions, but they ended up seeing each other in a place we didn't think they'd see each other. So we're going to address that and just figure out. Part of it was to send the 40 the same route as the rest of them, and to make it all work, we would have had to have sent them right through town, right through Copper Harbor. We'd have to have more conversations with the township and figure out how to do that, because at that time, if you wait till 8, the town's awake. That's just a lot to manage,
right?
Going through there, but we'll figure something out. Yeah, Trails End was a good venue for a campground.
Yeah.
If you like the rustic camping, I thought it was decent. Did you dig it?
Always like to be in the harbor.
Yeah. Aaron's done a nice job there, because that campground has changed a lot from the first time. Like when you guys went up to do Crusher in 2019, 6 years ago, that campground's come a long ways. Mm-hmm. It's really cool. They got a good thing going on up there. It's awesome. We'll get you. I'm going to keep on you about that point to point too.
Nice.
Well, what do you think? Should we get you out of here? You got anything else you want to cover? I know you got to go see your daughter.
So I do put on a gravel event that's free. We've done it for 10 years.
The Kranz.
Yeah, and the name, I used to do the Dirty Kanza.
Yep.
So I called this the Dirty Kranz.
Yep.
But I got a call from those guys, and they said, hey, we need you to change the name. I said, I love you guys. I'll change the name. No problem. Then they changed their name.
Yeah. Well, after Jim sold it.
Right. So then I had shirts printed up already. So anyway, it's a free gravel event. It's got a little Todd inspiration. There's some tough sections. 170 is the long course, 85, 35, and 20. So there's a little bit for everybody. There's B roads, and there's a road that might be really muddy depending on weather. We call it the Miracle Mile. It can be really nasty. So anyway, it's May 9th in 2026. Starts and ends at the Bible camp in Tustin. They let us use the facilities. They have cabins and a hotel there and camping, and you can bring your own camper or tent camp. And I do cookies, Coke, and water for free. The event's free. You got to pay for lodging so that they can host us.
Yep.
But it's a really nice course. Very hilly, not too many cars, mostly gravel.
Cool. So they reach out to you if they have questions?
It's on Bike Reg.
Is it on there now?
I haven't put it on there yet for this year, but it'll be up soon.
Okay. Make sure you get a hold of Roy and ask him a lot of questions.
Yeah, no problem. No packet pickup.
No packet pickup?
No.
Nope. Not just no early packet pickup, just no packet pickup.
It's not a race. I mean, there are prizes for first, second, and third, but Nick DeHaan won it this year, and
Yeah. Well, how many years have you been doing it?
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Keep that going.
Yeah.
A little grassroots racing.
Yeah. And not too many free events anymore. So
No, there's not. Well, it's hard to sustain free.
Yeah.
No. I mean, it's if the intent is to run a free event,
right?
Well, then it's not hard to sustain that, because everything's built around it.
Right.
It's if you want to take it somewhere, you're gonna have to charge money.
Yeah. True.
Maybe you'll do that after you retire.
I don't know.
Problem is when you start running races,
There's a lot that goes into that.
you ride less.
Yeah. Seems like maybe when I'm much older.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe you should just focus on your adventures.
Yeah.
And keep doing a free event.
That seems
You know,
good.
that gets people out there.
Right.
Low barrier of entry, right?
Right. The one problem is, you plan on how many people sign up, and it's pretty easy not to show up if you haven't paid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No skin in the game.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. If you start charging, though, then it also triggers insurance and, permitting and everything changes.
Yeah. I don't want that.
Yeah. So keep her simple.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to get rolling so you can go have dinner with your daughter. I know that Mark has company in town. Are they in town now?
Yes, they are. Two of the 3 daughters are here.
Wow.
More tomorrow.
So he is headed to spend time with his family, and he's, as he put in the calendar, AFO, all fucking out.
All fucking out.
Through Monday.
Nice.
And then we'll be back. We'll be back in the office Tuesday, gearing up for Marji Gesick 2025.
Very nice.
So we'll see you soon, my friend.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Over and out.